Hello, Jesse Good here, back from another review, and today I'm reviewing the 2014 LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendar, which is set number 75056. It's recommended for ages 6 to 14. It has 8 minifigures and it has 274 pieces, and it retails for $40 in the United States, and these are just starting to show up in stores, so now let's take a look at the packaging. Now here is the packaging for the set. Of course, I haven't opened it yet, and this review will contain spoilers of what's inside it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to review the minifigures first. So that's 8 minifigures to review. And then I'm going to be taking a look at each day individually. And that will include all the builds. But you can see the actual box kind of has this fold-out display of Hoth, which is actually really, really cool. And all the days are labeled out right there. Also some details on the back, which says 24 gifts. And a new video each week, which I probably cannot access right now, unfortunately. On the top, they do have a nice kind of display of all the minifigures. So now let's take a look at all of the minifigures, and then we'll take a look at the builds each day. So if you don't want to spoil what's in here, stop watching this review right now. Alright, so here is Santa Vader. And this guy is exclusive to the set. His torso and his leg prints are all exclusive to this character in set. And he does have a very nice little bag right there, which that mold was used in the Series 8 Santa Claus minifigure. And you can see he has no back printing on his torso or legs, of course. And he does have this nice red cape. Very cool exclusive minifigure. Also some nice face printing right there, but no back facial printing. So just a really cool minifigure overall. And next up is the exclusive Festive Astromech Droid. Very, very awesome minifigure. It has that nice dark green color, and it has some very cool exclusive printing on the top right there. You can see it has kind of a Christmas tree design, so you could even use it, just take off the top part, and put it on maybe like a little cone piece in brown, and it will make a little miniature Christmas tree. And it does have that top connection right there, which is made out of a few 1x1 plates, and some nice printing on the body part right there, but a great exclusive figure. Next minifigure up is Luke Skywalker. This version is the same one that's in the Cantina, and it's the same one that's in the Sandcrawler. So this is the cheapest way to get this minifigure, by a total of $30 saved from the Cantina, the other cheapest way to get him. And he looks great. I love this hairpiece he has, which is that new mold. Looks excellent in that kind of tan color. And his face print on the front is alright. Maybe it does have a little bit too much wrinkles, but it is very detailed nevertheless. I like the back design as his torso and his front torso design too. Very cool. Then we have General Riken, which is the same one that came in the 2013 Battle of Hoth set. Same exact design. Still very cool. I love his front and back torso printing. Love his his hairpiece in that gray color, which doesn't come in too many other sets. And he has no back facial printing. So here's the Santa Trooper, as I call him. Of course, an original character just made for this advent calendar. But he is very cool. He does have this nice little cup right here. Some nice front torso and leg printing. And back torso printing. And his facial printing is the same one that's actually used in the TIE, I think it's the TIE pilot. And he will appear later on, so we do get 2 of that facial printing in the set. And he does come with this very cool Santa hat molding, which is from the Series 8 Santa Claus minifigure. Still very cool, and you can just pop that on his head like that, and that's it for this minifigure. And speaking of the TIE Fighter pilot, here is the one that is included in the set. Same one as the one that appears in the Microfighter, so this is the 2014 version. Very lovely molding on the helmet right there. It has kind of a round feel to it on the bottom. It has some nice intricate printing and whatnot. And of course, like I said, he does have the same exact printing on the face as a Santa Trooper, which I find very funny. But he does have some nice torso printing on the front and back. And here's a Snow Trooper. This is actually the 2013 version, not the 2014 version. And that's kind of a pity because the 2014 version is much better because he has some extra cloth and whatnot. But you can see his front torso printing right there. And he does have that face printing on his black colored headpiece. And you can see his back torso printing right there. And he has some nice detailing on his whole helmet and kind of pack combo on the back right there. Very nice molding, and you just slip it on to the front like that. So overall, very cool minifigure. And here's a Super Battle Droid. Very interesting minifigure because it's made out of a few pieces. You got that piece for the hips and legs, this piece for the main body, then two hand pieces on the side right there. So you could hold the gun, but you would have to put it kind of sideways. And that's really it for this guy. Pretty nice molding overall. And the last minifigure is the X-Wing pilot. This guy looks a lot like Dak, but he is not Dak. He is actually just a generic X-Wing pilot. He uses the same face as the one that appears in the Microfighter set, but kind of the same attire as Dak, and you can see the back torso printing right there, and the front. So he does have a double-sided face and whatnot, and a very cool printed helmet right there. So overall, pretty nice minifigure. Alright, so here are all the boxes from day 1 to day 24, and we're going to take a look at each individual build you get. So the first one, of course, is day 1. And this one is a build that is an AAT. Now, of course, all these little vehicles are in micro scale. And as I showed earlier, some of the builds aren't vehicles. They could be minifigures. And some are even just little battle, I guess, turrets or little holders of weapons. So that's a nice addition. But the first one we got is a micro scale vehicle. Nothing really interesting here. And this isn't really an original trilogy vehicle, and I do not really care for this vehicle, but it is a nice interpretation of the AAT look. It's not necessarily bad. No interesting pieces in this particular build. That's it for that build, which was day 1. Now on to day 2. And this is cool because this is a Super Battle Droid. And this guy right here is very interesting, but we already took a look at him earlier, and I just noticed that he's built incorrectly, and all you have to do is flip his hand like that. But we looked at him earlier, so that's it for the Super Battle Droid. Made out of 4 pieces. And up here is actually day 3, which I'll bring down so you guys can see. And this is AV7, that's it. It's an anti-vehicle cannon, I believe it stands for. And this is actually pretty cool as a build. I don't necessarily like the vehicle where it's more of a weapon, I believe, but the actual pieces used on here are these little zipline cords, which are kind of an uncommon piece, and it's especially nice to get them, 4 of them in one little build. So that's a nice addition to this little vehicle or weapon, but really it's cool to get those pieces, and I think that's really why I like this interpretation of the AV7, because it's actually kind of cool. For that part alone, it stands up perfectly, which will show all the stuff displayed on the bottom later. But you can see you could position the cannon. Of course, this is in micro scale. And that's it for that. Now moving on to day 4, which is again all the way up here. But this build is a minifigure, and this is the Santa Trooper, as they call it. Or you looked at him earlier, he has that nice cup. No double-sided face. And on to day 5. And this one's a compliment to the Santa Trooper, because this one has a little helmet for him. And it's a little weapon rack, which is very, very cool. It holds these 2 guns right here. And that's really it. I wish they would have more, kind of a more even ratio between the little weapon racks and turrets with the little micro-scale vehicles, because I like getting the micro-scale vehicles, but I think little weapon racks and turrets are a little bit more interesting for people like me who don't particularly, enjoy Star Wars Lego that much compared to others. But of course, this is themed towards Star Wars fans, so I can't see why they wouldn't do more vehicles, because it makes sense for, I guess, the younger kids. And on to day 5, it's actually, or day 6, it's this little vulture droid right here, which is funny because we just got one this year, and that's really with a lot of these vehicles that they use in this microscale, because they've made a lot of these based on sets that came out this year. But this is a vulture droid. Not too interesting if you ask me. I do like how these little sides are actually maneuverable up and down, or you can maneuver them up and down. But other than that, just a very, very simple build, as goes with all these other microscales in the calendar. Day 7, all the way down here, is this little snow blaster. It's a turret that could blast little snow pellets, which are these studs. We'll get it out. And this is pretty interesting because it stands up by itself, which I'll show in a little bit. But it also has this nice piece on the front, which is that new push missile blaster. So you just push down on there, and the gun will shoot that stud. And you could just position it on the floor like that, and it'll stand up quite well. You just gotta kind of move the little antenna pieces right down there. And you see it's positions fairly well, depends how you kind of move it. And of course you could kind of attach a snowtrooper to the back holding onto that handlebar right there. That goes on the bottom. Now we're on to day 9, or 8. And day 8 is this little snowtrooper, speak of the devil. And it's funny because I was reading, and this one's based off of the 2013 version, not the 2014 version. But we already took a close-up of this guy earlier. I wish I would have made the 2014 version in this set because he has some nice kind of cloth detailings on the side and whatnot. So that goes back in day 8. And on to day 9, which is right on the bottom here. And this is this little Jedi starfighter, which is very cool. Because I do like the design of this, because it is a very cool vehicle. But also they do have this nice cheese slope in yellow on the back, which cheese slopes in yellow, despite the name being a cheese slope, are kind of hard to find compared to other colors of cheese slopes. They're not necessarily rare, just a little bit more uncommon. But overall, very cool build with that because I like how they use this little neck piece that they usually use on minifigures to kind of put that cheese slope on the back right there. So that works out very well. On to day 10, which is right up here, which you guys cannot see, but the actual build in there is a TIE Fighter, and if it looks very familiar, that's because it is the same exact one that they use in that Toys R Us May the 4th promo this year, which I thought is just hilarious, that they didn't really want to innovate for a new build. But it is a very simple build that is still very effective, and it looks like a TIE Fighter, so I can't blame them too much because they did very well with that promo. And you can see how it's built. They actually use these little handles on the side right here, or these pins, and you put it into that receiving brick, and it snaps on like that. Gives that nice TIE Fighter look. And that goes all the way up there. And now we're on to day 11, which is right here. And you got a TIE Fighter pilot this time around, which we did look at earlier. I love that molding on his helmet. You take it off and reveal the minifigure, which interestingly enough uses the same face as another minifigure in this build, which was the Santa Trooper. And now we're on to day 12, which is right... I wish they would do this in order. Right here. And this is Luke's land speeder. Very, very impressive build with this one. I think this is probably my favorite of the micro vehicles. It looks great. I mean, they really did a good job on this. It looks like a land speeder. They got all the colors right. Love that burgundy on the bottom. Very simple micro scale build, but still very cool. And you can even position the back because it is on that hinge right there. That's sweet. Now on to day 13, which is all the way up here, so you guys can't see it. But it is Luke himself, Luke Skywalker. Very sweet. We already took a look at him, but he's still a very cool minifigure. I especially like how they included that new hair because I've been dying to get that. Well, I'll be getting mostly soon, so I'll be able to build another Luke. And day 14 is kind of a weird one because I'll be honest, I know all these vehicles and all these builds by names, but I don't know what this is. I believe it's a droid, because I think I've seen it before, but I've been researching like all day to find out what it is. So please, in the comments, tell me what this is, because it's just been killing me that I can't even figure out which one it is. But you can see the build right there. Very annoying build, because I wanted to get all these little sticks right here, sticks or rod pieces, at the same exact height, but it's very hard to put it when they're on that clip. I don't know, it's just, I guess, ADHD kind of clicking in. Or ADD, attention deficit disorder. And now we're on to day 15. Let me get this out. This is a snow speeder. Of course, we got one this year too. Very cute build. This is probably my second favorite out of all the little miniature builds, because it's a very slick and a very recognizable build for all the micro scale builds. And also, you get this nice 1x2 orange jumper, which doesn't come in that color too often. That's very cute. Do you like how that came out? Now on to day 16, which is on the bottom right here, so you guys can't see it, but it is a snow speeder pilot. It looks a little bit like Dak, but they don't specifically say it's Dak on the box. We already looked at him earlier. And now on to day 17, which is right on the bottom here, on the bottom of 19. And this one's cool because this is another one of those little turrets. It's a little bit, has some snow detailing on the plate right there. And you do get this shooter, which does shoot another one of those studs in that white color. So if you push down, it will shoot like that. So that is very sweet. And that just goes back in day 17. And also, it does come with this little gun in the build too, which I do like. In day 18, it's all the way up here on top of day 2. And this one, you get him, and we looked at him earlier. General, it's Rican, and he looks great. Love that little torso. But he is the same one that we got in the Battle of Hoth set for 2013. Now on to day 19. It's right here. This one's cool because it's a speeder bike. So it's a little bit of, I guess you could say a full build. It's very much downsized, but it's a little bit like a miniature, not micro scale speeder bike. But it comes with this little present on the back, which is just adorable. And you got the little sack right there, which is always a nice mold to get. You do get 2 in this set. Or no, you get 1 in this set, never mind. And it comes with a little present build that holds a present, even a little gun right there. So that is just awesome. Love that. And you could, of course, fit a minifigure on there. Let me see, where's the snow guy? Just as an example. Alright, I'll put the Santa Trooper. Of course, it doesn't make sense, but just fit any minifigure right there, and they could sit down like that. Of course, it's not to scale, but it's a cute little build. Just a little bit of a change up from getting all these micro scale vehicles. It's nice to get a little bit of a mini scale vehicle that will still fit a minifigure. And now on to day 20, which is down here. And this, you guys can't see it right now, but it is the Imperial Shuttle. Probably my third favorite of all of these little micro scale builds in this advent calendar, because it came out really well. And you got that nice little translucent light blue, what is it called? It's a grate. I call them the grate little plates right there. And you could actually position the wings on the side and the top cockpit like that. So it works out really well, and that was very high pitched. And then now on to day 21, and this is the Y-Wing fighter. And this came out very well because it has some actual side parts right there, which you could position. But of course, if you want the Y-Wing look, you have to position them like that. And it came out pretty effective. I do like how they portrayed the Y-Wing. It's a cute little build. And so this is day 22. And this is a Christmas tree droid, also called the Festive Astromech. Very, very cool, because I love this printing right here, because this guy's exclusive right there, which looks awesome. That's exclusive printing. I could use that for like a miniature Christmas tree, but we already looked at this guy earlier, so I don't want to dwell on him too long. But this is one of my, besides Santa Vader, which is coming up, this guy is my favorite out of all the builds. Day 23 is this right here, which, let's see, it's a nice little fireplace, actually, that does hold 2 lightsabers. Sure, the way it holds the lightsabers are quite weird because it holds it right on the actual blades right there, which would not make any sense in the actual Star Wars universe. But I do like the little fireplace down there. It's very cute, and it's another one of those, not really a micro scale vehicle, but more of a miniature little fireplace. So you could put that, some kind of weird mock you make of the Star Wars characters celebrating Christmas, Star Wars Christmas Special in Lego. Whipster. And this is, of course, the one that a lot of people are buying this, and the reason why I kind of brought this for, the main reason, of course, there's other reasons too, and this is Santa Vader, and we already looked at him earlier, but this is just such an awesome little minifigure right here. Love how he came out. Love his exclusive torso and leg printing. Definitely a reason why a lot of kids and adults are going to be getting this. It's a shame that he doesn't come with the actual red Darth Vader helmet that we see in a lot of test production lines, which are very rare on like Bricklink and whatnot, and you could kind of find them on eBay once in a while. But other than that, a little bit disappointing there's no back torso printing, but still the front torso printing is excellent, as is the front leg printing. And so that is it for this event calendar, and then we're going to take a look at all of the little builds along with the verdict on this front mat right here. So stay tuned. Alright, so here's my little Christmas and Hoth setup. And of course, what do I think about this set? Well, I think it came out very, very cool. It's hard to get me to buy a non-LEGO Friends advent calendar, which a review of that is coming soon. And this succeeded. I'm very pleased at how this came out. I think because I'm such a fan of the original trilogies compared to like the prequel trilogies and the Clone Wars or whatnot. I think that's kind of what drew me to buy this more than all the other Star Wars advent calendars that have come out. And I'm not disappointed. I love the Darth Vader that's exclusive to this set, which is Santa Vader or whatever you want to call him. I love getting Luke, which of course he does come in some sets this year, but I have not got this version of Luke just yet. Also, I love getting some a little bit more hard to find minifigures like General Reekin. And even this cute little Santa Trooper right here, which is kind of an original character because there's never been a Santa Trooper in any Star Wars property. And they reuse that minifigure little Santa hat right there, and also getting a super battle droid and whatnot, and even a TIE, a TIE wing fighter. All that stuff is really cool, and the pieces in here aren't the best value for $40. Of course, the price per piece ratio is pretty low, but the builds I think make up for this, and of course, just the sheer enjoyment. If you're not like me and you're opening up one every day in December, that is just it makes the play value of this just off the charts, and that's really why I enjoy seeing little kids or even teens or adults enjoying these event calendars, because it just makes me feel like I have the Christmas spirit and whatnot. And so I do rate this set a B. I think the price for it is much, much better than the past few Star Wars event calendars, but even then the price isn't the best. This would be like amazing at a $30 price point, but it's $10 more, I guess, for licensing fees and whatnot. And some of the builds, or the microscale little builds, do fall a little bit flat. I would have wished that they just kept it consistent with the original trilogy and not added some of these Clone Wars vehicles and whatnot. But overall, I'm very pleased at how this came out. Love the exclusive little astromech festive droid right there. Love the exclusive Darth Vader. And I love some of these more hard to find minifigures overall. So that's it for this review. And I have to say, I did get challenged for the Ice Bucket Challenge from Elliot Bricks. We'll see how that pans out. I cannot do it in the 24-hour time period because I'm working on a special way to portray it. And if that works out, I'll post that video. If it doesn't work out, either way, I'll be donating. So don't worry about that. And that's really it for this video. Go check out Elliot Bricks' Ice Bucket Challenge, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.